There's coffee. Good morning, Jen here with Chaos and Grace. I noticed that we recently went over 1,000 subscribers. Finally hit that mark, so thank you guys. And I just wanted to take a minute to welcome all of the new subscribers and thank you for joining us here. So I'm going to talk about a few things today. If you have been following or saw the last, a couple videos ago, I talked about what happened with my health and, well, my family's health and just what was going on. We had a hard summer and the things that we've been dealing with this summer. We do have an update, and I'll get to that in a minute. I have been sharing more about what's been going on a regular basis on Instagram, in my stories, and in my posts. Just because it's easier just to throw something up there quick. It doesn't require a whole lot of editing, and it is just quick. So it's easy. I've got my phone with me all the time, so it's easy to do that. But I wanted to share what's going on here and give more detail so those from Instagram can come in over here and hear the whole story of what's going on. So I will link an iCard up there with what's been going on with me and the previous stuff, but just for the highlights. So just to hit the highlights of that video, my daughter got hepatitis A in the beginning of summer, and then I ended up contracting it from her. Still have no idea how we came across that, but we did, and we got it, and she was fine within a week, and I got extremely sick. I got it in June, the end of June, and I'm still dealing with it. So what was happening was my liver enzymes, which you get checked periodically to make sure they're going in the right direction, were going down, and they were looking good, and then they started going back up. I had one routine test, and they had doubled since the last one. Just for reference point, one of the liver enzymes they look at should be 56 at the highest, and mine currently at my last test was 888. So when they get higher, one of those tests indicates liver damage. So after that, I had a test called an MRCP, which is an MRI that looks specifically at your biliary tract, which is like your liver, your bile ducts, all of the tubes and things that run in between those organs and your pancreas. And you can see a few other little areas just around there. And all of that looked normal. There was no structural abnormalities. Without getting too technical, everything on that MRCP was good. They didn't see anything emergent or serious or anything. Then the doctor called me and they said, you need to go repeat your enzymes. And that's when I found out they were 888, where they're sitting now. And I'm sure they're higher now because it's been over a week since my last blood test, and I don't take another one until next week unless they tell me otherwise. Now I'm waiting for a biopsy. The next step is to do the liver biopsy because with my symptoms that I'm having and the test results, my blood work, and the lack of things that they're seeing on my previous CT and on my MRCP, they said a liver biopsy is next. So I asked the nurse, what do they look for in a liver biopsy? Specifically to me, what are they looking for in me? Because I do not wait well. I do not sit around and wait well and just go, I'm just not gonna worry about it until I have to. Because here's the thing, I have 15 plus years of medical experience. I was a paramedic before I had children for a very long time, and I was raised by a nurse, and I worked in hospitals, and I know just enough to know too much, and that is scary when you know what the worst case situation is in something like this. So I asked the nurse, what are they looking for? She says, well, a liver biopsy looks for staging of cirrhosis, and it looks for staging of something called fatty liver disease, which causes cirrhosis. And it looks for fibrosis, which is a precursor to cirrhosis. And then she started kind of beating around the bush, and I said, and cancer. And she said, yeah, it looks for cancer. I said, is that something that they're considering? And she said, well, it could be. So in my mind, there is a possibility that I have liver cancer. this is where my weakness comes in. It's very hard to have faith in a plan that takes me away from my children. And I know that his plan is better, and that ultimately everything will be perfect according to him, because he created it to be that way. But I can't get on board with not being here to raise my babies. I'm working on that. So, yesterday they called me with a date for my biopsy. September 9th. It's a Monday. I'm going in and I'm going to have a biopsy. They told me yesterday on the phone all that I need to be expected, how long it's going to take to get results. It'll be roughly about 5 days to get results of that, and then they'll come up with a treatment plan. So the first thing in my mouth was September 9th. That's a long way to wait if you have cancer. And she said, well, there's only one radiologist doing them right now, and we have a lot of liver biopsies. Wonderful. Like I said, I don't wait well. So I started making some phone calls to go to another hospital, and they called me back, and she said, well, I just wanted to call you and let you know they're no longer looking at liver cancer. I can't tell you what a relief that was. But she did tell me that they are looking at staging cirrhosis. So if you don't know what cirrhosis of the liver is, it's basically scar tissue on your liver. If I'm understanding that correctly, I mean, I knew of cirrhosis, but I don't know the details of cirrhosis because in the line, because as a paramedic, you deal with emergency medicine, not chronic illness, unless it's an emergent complication of a chronic illness, if that makes sense. So this is new to me. Some interesting things though. My husband and I were sitting down talking about things, and I was thinking about how I've been feeling for the last 5 years or so. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called spondyloarthritis. I just had a feeling like I need to not be taking the medications that they prescribe for that. I just had this gut feeling I shouldn't be taking them. Now I am, or was, I don't even know what to consider myself now, what they call seronegative, where meaning you don't come out positive on any of the tests for any autoimmune disease, but you have every single symptom, so you will still be diagnosed as having an autoimmune disease, even though the blood tests say you don't, because you're having this damage to your body. If you look up the symptoms for liver disease, they're every single symptom that I have been having for the last 5 years since I had my daughter. So that's something I'm going to be asking my liver doctor. If pregnancy and childbirth can do something to trigger liver disease, I don't know. I don't know. So.
I can see the moon.
Yep. Okay, my camera's dying. I see the moon too. Yep. Okay, let me finish talking really fast, and then we'll go make a pom-pom pet. How about that? Deal? Okay.
But in my moon.
See if you see any, can you see if you find any pine cones or bird feathers?
Why?
So we can make crafts from them too. We're gonna have a crafty day since we're not going anywhere. Well, we might, but I don't know. We'll see. Back to the story at hand. Okay. So symptoms that I have been having, itching, like itching. Itching is the biggest warning sign of liver disease, and it's itching. I mean, itching. So there's that. Yellowing of your skin, your eyes, the whites of your eyes, that's called jaundice, and I had that when I had hepatitis, but it's gone now. I had a little bit, like if you looked way down underneath, I had some in there, but that is cleared up. So if I do start getting jaundice, we know it's getting worse. Joint pain, muscle pain, fatigue. It's so bad. I get through a cup of coffee, which is good to keep liver enzymes down, so I get to drink more coffee. The biggest one has been weight loss. I have always struggled with my weight, so truth be told, I am not disappointed about this one. I have lost 25 pounds. since I got out of the hospital. And though my diet has changed, my activity level has definitely dropped, as you will see by my garden update. There's not really a whole lot I can do right now except watch how I eat and take care of myself, stay hydrated, stay rested at all possible, or as much as possible. And I'm doing a lot of fun stuff with the kids and a lot of light schooling. We have not officially started homeschooling, our homeschool year, because I am not ready. We started in June, and I'm gonna do a totally separate video on this, but we started in June and then we got sick and then it just kind of all fell apart, and I have not picked that back up yet. We've done math a few days a week. We're doing math, and we're doing reading a few days a week, and that's all we're doing. And I have plans to start after Labor Day. We do want to take a minute to thank everybody that has been sending me messages and has been, those that know me personally, has been calling me or texting me or sending me things on Facebook, just prayers and scripture and asking me how I'm doing and volunteering time to help me with my kids and just all of that. Thank you. Thank you for being there, and thank you for being supportive, and thank you for being a positive influence in my life and my family's life. And to all of the new subscribers, my channel is not normally so down. I normally am talking about homeschooling and our special needs family life and our homestead, which I'll show you a little of today, and all of the happier things. And when we do have struggles that come up, how we deal with them in a positive way. And this I have lacked at in this. I have not been able to deal with this in a positive way very much, because it's scary, it's terrifying, and my kids don't know a whole lot because I don't want to scare them. Because on top of everything, we had to put our dog down last week. And they don't need any more fear or pain or loss. That's enough. So, hurry up and wait is all I can do right now. And show you guys my garden. Fig trees are looking amazing. I had something break off something. It may have been a child, may have been an animal, I don't know. It broke it off. But I mean, all of this is newer growth, and it looks great, and it came back really well. This one is huge. I thought I was losing it because I've got, you know, a little bit of death, and I had a lot of leaves that look like this, but it's coming back. And I did nothing other than watch the water and the drainage, and it's looking great. Got some lavender here that looks great. The Japanese beetles got a hold of this one, and they did a number on it. But down here, it's looking good. I took a long time to get neem oil on this, and that's why it looks so bad. I did 2 applications of it over the course of a couple weeks, and they stopped eating it, so hopefully next year it'll do better. This one is looking great, and there's so much more growth on this. Every single time I come out and look at this, there's more growth on it. There's been so much growth on it this year. The raspberries are doing wonderful. Now these came from Baker Creek, and they were this big, and this is what it's turned into, and now they need supports. And I probably won't get around to that this year, but next year we'll support them. I've got one there. And then this one down here was eaten down to the nub. I thought it was gonna be dead, and it came back fast, and it looks great. I did not get any blueberries off of any of my blueberry plants this year, but they look good. And this one, if you remember from other videos, if you saw those, I thought it was dead. Came back great. This plant is new this year. I thought this one was gonna die too, but as you can see, it's got some new growth, so I think it's gonna be just fine. This one does not have new growth, but it's sustaining its leaves, so I am optimistic about this one also. The raised beds, they just did not survive. But my chives are coming back, so that's good. Everything else, my lemon verbena, it's dead. My Brussels sprouts are looking really good. They have fallen victim to some cabbage loopers, but they're actually doing okay. It looks like there's gonna be a good amount to harvest. I have never done Brussels sprouts before, but we love to eat them. And by we, I mean me and my husband. And actually my oldest will eat them. The kale, I have not done much with, as you can see. I think I'm sadly just going to pull it and compost it. I have been staying up with peppers. I have a lot of jalapeno peppers. They've been overtaken by thistle in this little area here. But they've been very, very productive. And what I do with those is I just harvest them and I slice them up and I freeze them, so when I can get to them to make my pickled jalapenos or cowboy candy or whatever I'm going to do with them, I can do that when I'm ready. This is all of the oregano that has been here over the years and just gotten bigger and bigger. Glad I let it flower, because I have had so many beautiful pollinators come into this garden and it saved my beans. They were not, the blossoms were just falling off, and everything I researched said it was hot weather or not watering, and neither it was true. And as soon as all these pollinators came in here, I mean, there were thousands of them just everywhere, all different kinds. And then I started getting beans. So when it gets into the heat of the day, midday, I'd say, like noon to 3, they are just swarming all over, and it's beautiful. And I'm really glad I left this here for them because, you know, conservation, it's good. Here are our cucumbers, which are doing really well, of course. I have Caleb on the cucumber harvest because he finds ones that I didn't even know were there. So the beans are now doing great thanks to our pollinator friends. We've got some scarlet runners here. Got some Oriental yard-long beans coming in here. And I think they're just starting to come in. Beans are so late this year, but I think that's just because we had some pollination problems. This is probably my favorite place right now. All of the loofah gourds back there you can see. Oh, there is an Oriental yard-long bean. I hadn't seen that. We gotta go look it. Look it. I hadn't seen this yet. Did you find a watermelon? Okay, I'll come look at it in just a minute. Oh, this is so exciting. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited about this. So excited. I did not think I was gonna get any of them. And then I saw the pollinators, so I had hope. But honestly, I was secretly thinking it was gonna be a fail this year. And these scarlet runners are just starting to really come in. I think I'm gonna have to pull back this loofah, or these loofahs, because I planted too many of them. This is so beautiful in here. I love it. I don't know if you can see from inside here, but I have black beans that are coming in. I've harvested quite a few of these. Looks like I need to harvest more. With black beans, this was a new crop for me this year. And let's see if I can get in here. I planted them and did not do research on how to harvest them and when to harvest them. I knew they were going to be different than your typical green bean, but I did not do the research until I said, I think it might be time to do this. Try and figure it out. So what you want to do is harvest them when they are like this. This is what you're looking for. That one might be a little green still, but that's what you want. You don't want to harvest them while they're green. The watermelon, if you remember, is not something that I planted this year. It is simply volunteer from last year when I didn't clean up the watermelon guts. Got another one in there, and then along the other side I've got a bunch. Some along our fence. You're coming in? It's that big. This is my garden fail. I don't know if I'd call it a fail. I wouldn't call it a fail so much as it is just a mess. I had big plans for tomatoes this year. I was going to Oh, I was gonna do so much, and I planted so many. Had I been able to do this, oh, it would have been beautiful. So we'll try again next year. Now it's a mess, and now we have to go hunting through the jungle to find all the tomatoes. And we will likely miss many of them. So I think I'm gonna thin them and preserve what we find, if energy allows, or just give away a lot. Because honestly, I don't know if I can do it this year. That's okay. Because I have all that, and that I can handle. So the garden is not going as I wanted it to. But there's always something every year that doesn't go like I wanted it to go. It's okay. It still produces. It still produces more than what I was anticipating. And I always end up giving away a lot. So maybe next year, with everything going on, I don't know where we'll be next garden season. But maybe next year I should learn my lesson and plant less. But I kind of like giving to everybody too. It's very loud. I hope it's not too loud. They're playing on their scooters, my neighbor's driveway. And it's very loud. To my new subscribers, again, welcome. I am so glad to have you guys here. Thank you for supporting our channel. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up because it tells YouTube to show it more, to show our channel. If you are not yet subscribed, I want to invite you to hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you can stay up to date on all the videos that I put out. And I will see you guys in the next video with some more cheery news. Have a great day.